All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is David with dubstreasurestore.com. I'm finishing up the last segment for today's broadcast. Again, if you have not been following us, this is our syndicated radio show where we do TCG. On LFG's channel, we do a lot of video game reviews. We do a lot of card gaming. On my channel, we do puppies, we do the antiques. But today's show, aligned with the Batman Massacre, we've been talking a lot about biocultural mechanisms, and we've been talking about biodiversity in a globalizing economy, especially on the North American continent. And I gave you the show 2 days ago. I gave you my analysis of The Dark Knight, and I only thought it was relevant and partly to do with the Batman Massacre. So now I'm going to give you my analysis on the movie V for Vendetta. And instead of me sitting here always just giving you my talking points, I was going to let my guest today go ahead and read my paper. So this is 100% me, brought to you by my friend Doug. Go ahead.
Alright, it's called Vengeance in Politics. The movie V for Vendetta, directed by James McTeague, has a relation to the American government because the movie's national government needed money. Curfews were set in place as martial order. These curfews could happen in any current country set by state, national, and our local government. We are in an economic slump or recession, and at the current moment. Terrorists set fear in the eyes of politicians during the movie, yet the terrorist was one man named V. Between lies in a government conspiracy, the movie does not have relevant events which relate to American government. During the beginning of the movie, V, the main character, blows up a government building of parliament. The hero is a terrorist in the sense that the founding fathers were during the American Revolution.
And let's stop right there. Just like in The Dark Knight Rises, Bane is an anti-globalist person who's blowing up government official buildings, and he is a terrorist. And the only person that can fight him is a global banker, Bruce Wayne, who is Batman. And see, that's subliminal programming too, by the psyops, because if you are a regular person like you or me, and we go out and try to fight crime, or we go out and try to speak out against corruption and political and be politically dissonant, then you're labeled as a fatso, a pot-bellied loser, and you can't do that. And in the Dark Knight movie, those people that were actually trying to act like Batman in the movie and fight crime ended up dying, and they were labeled as losers and psychopaths and sociopathic losers. So that's why there's a key similarity there. Continue.
He was tortured and experimented on. Most people would lose their dignity, but he found his integrity while he was placed in those cells.
All right, and that's another good point, because that goes back to the Polish Jews that were in Hitler's concentration camps. When you're stripped down naked, and you will lose your dignity. But some of those people that did survive World War II gained their integrity from that. And that's a good key factor that a lot of people don't know in the V for Vendetta movie, is that it has an underlying subliminal message that when you lose your dignity, you will gain your integrity. And if you don't, then you're just a lost soul. You are condemned. So go ahead, continue.
During this time in the movie, the Conservative Party, which was more aggressive, issued a special project for NSA, National Security, to look for weapons of mass destruction, yet the true goal was for power. Everybody serves under the High Chancellor Adam Salter. Before his promotion, capitalism was being perverted and democracy was lost with other hopes.
Just like, right now, sorry to interrupt you, just like our capitalistic economy is being perverted by you-know-who, because if you started a business, you didn't build it on your own. And if you're successful, you didn't get there on your own. So you know how many entrepreneurs and business people that offends, and how many people that has struck home to in their hearts and it's hurt them? Continue.
The people in the government were left with a fascist country instead. The people have to help in the movie to make a huge change in their government. This movie was like a warning to governments, because when a government pushes the people too far, the result is change. People should not be afraid of their government. The government should be afraid of their people. Either in a government conspiracy or in everyday life, people should not let their freedom be stripped away. And
stop right there. So when people fear their government, there is tyranny. And when a government fears their people, there is liberty. Finish. This is the concluding paragraph.
There is no certainty, only opportunity for power. Remember, Artists use lies to tell the truth, and politicians use lies to cover the truth. I recommend this movie because of the outstanding truths throughout the movie.
All right, so that was my synopsis and analysis of the movie V for Vendetta, and I wrote that report. What was the date on this? I wrote that report in February of 2009, February 11th of 2009, and look where we are now in July 2012. Holds very key similarities of what's going on with this year, and I wrote that like 3 years ago. What 2000? I mean, almost 4 years ago now. So. I think that all this stuff we've been talking about is important, but what we're doing, you got to be careful, because there's certain protections that are not covered in the speech, the freedom of speech. So this is why I try to bring it to you in a paper that I wrote that got proofread and that I had peer review analysis and help. And then I'm gonna start doing more and more where I have my guests come on and read these things, so that it doesn't always just seem like it's my opinions interjecting in that. The only reason I kept interrupting him, because they were actually good key points of what's going on in these troubling times today. So that is it for today's show. That was our third segment. I'm gonna put this on LFG's channel, and continue to follow us at heavenlypups.com and dubstreasurestore.com. You can also find us there at /blog. Check out our merchandise store. I'm just now creating a merchandise store. I don't have a lot of stuff on, but I've got some really neat antique bottles. I know that's completely different than what we're talking about, but if you go to myworld.ebay.com /dubstreasure, there's some really awesome antiques there. Because if you want to be a cool collector, or if you want to be a true anthropologist, you need your own artifact collection. You need a collection of cultures around the world. But like we said when we were opening, you need to be careful, especially if you have a modern Christendom belief system, what you open your eyes to, because it can be bad. So check us out and follow my channel, youtube.com /user /Mr. Dub 023. That's Dub with 2 B's. Alrighty, well, I thank you for following us, and if you do support our cause, let us know your opinions and suggestions, and donate to us if you like what we're doing. Okay? Bye.